Egghead Island is officially over. And you know what? I gotta say that Egghead Island, the whole arc, is the top contender for one of the best arcs in One Piece. But before we get into our review, I'm gonna need you guys to interact with those buttons. Make sure that you're liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the video around, following me on both the TikTok and the YouTube page. I really do appreciate the support. It really helps out the channel a lot. And you guys know I'm trying to get to at least 1,000 followers on both platforms. So please help me out, and thank you guys so much for watching. But now, let's get into our review. Let me let you know what I think about Egghead Island as a whole, and I'm gonna give you some predictions for what I think is gonna happen in Elbalf. Let's get into it. Honestly, not so much because of the island. I felt the island was criminally underexplored. I also felt that we didn't get enough time with the Vegapunks, and we also had that Robin fight off screen for us. But everything else about this arc was great. I mean, the very fact that we got to see a lot of cool fights and events that happened outside of Egghead itself was great. I mean, who didn't love the Law versus Blackbeard fight? And if you didn't read the manga, I bet you thought Law was gonna win, but he didn't. He got packed up. At least Beppo showed up with that Sulong form after eating that Rumble Ball from Chopper. Also in this arc, we had another historic fight. We have Garp versus the Blackbeard Pirates, the remaining Blackbeard Pirates. We even got to see when Aokiji and Van Augur went to Big Mom's territory and packed them up over there. Then we also got to see Kobe, rise up in this arc. And even though it hasn't been animated yet, so I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert, but I'm looking forward to seeing Kobe have his hockey bloom. Then we have a very touching story to look forward to. Kuma and Bonnie flashback. That's gonna be heartwarming. Kuma's flashback is arguably one of the best flashbacks in One Piece. When we see it, it's definitely gonna be a tearjerker. On top of that, we got to also see some of the God Valley incident, and we get a little bit more backstory on Kaido, Big Mom, and the rest of the Rocks pirates, which is great. The most surprising thing that I think that we got in this arc was the reveal of the Gorosei and the fight that ended up happening, or really the Straw Hats retreating from the Gorosei. That wasn't really a fight because they wasn't really putting in pain, except for my boy Zoro. He was definitely clashing with a member of the Gorosei that he fought. Then too, we can't underestimate the fight with Luffy versus Kizaru. I'm looking forward to seeing this animated specifically because I know this is going to be awesome to see. On top of it, the Giants came back. We saw Shanks again, and he divine departured Kid's crew. Honestly, let me know in the comment sections, do you think that Kid is dead? I don't think that Kid is dead. And then we also got the message from Vegapunk, which really to me I felt was pretty underwhelming. I mean, most of it was stuff that we already knew. It was cool to see the reaction of the world to his message, but I just, wasn't like on my edge of my seat like this is brand spanking new stuff that I just needed to hear and see in the manga. Also, that was crazy how Joy Boy's hockey from 800 years ago came in clutch and saved the whole crew. Basically saved everybody up on the island. Then also, now we have Lilith, who's still alive but knocked out, and Dr. Vegapunk. I don't feel like he's dead because remember his instructions were to get him off the island. He didn't say whether it had to be dead or alive, and I think that in the future, as far as when we go to Elbalf, we're getting into the Elbalf predictions, I think there's going to be a way to bring him back that Lilith knows, or perhaps she has to transfer her consciousness or life force to him, or give a portion of it to him to bring him back, because he only had to die to do a dead man switch, which would turn on the message to alert the whole world to what he wanted them to know. But as far as Vegapunk, I think that he still could do more. As far as Elbalf, he knows that Soul is alive over there. That was also a great reveal. And as of the latest chapter, we did learn that all the Vegapunks are not dead. Again, I don't know how she's gonna bring them back, or if she's gonna bring them back, or if they all are gonna assimilate into her head, because she did get some type of update. But I'm looking forward to see what happens with Vegapunk or Lilith at this point, if we're not gonna get back Stella. I didn't really care about the reveal about Professor Clover's brother. I mean, I could take it or leave it. I didn't care that his brother was a D-Clan member.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you we don't care.
But as far as when we go to Elbalf, I'm expecting for sure, the first thing that I'm expecting is a reuniting of Jaguar D Soul and Robin. Now, as for number 2, I'm being super hopeful here, and there's a possibility that he still won't do nothing, but I'm hoping that Dragon comes up on the scene and makes an alliance with Luffy, and Luffy actually meets his father, which I think is gonna be very short-winded, because Luffy has never really seemed to even care that he has a father. But I'm looking to see how Dragon is going to interact with him and how the Revolutionary Army would interact with the Straw Hats. I know some of them already know Luffy and many of them know Robin, but that would be really cool. Third, I am looking forward to seeing Usopp learn some fighting techniques or have some type of training from the Giants that makes him even stronger. Fourth, I'm looking forward to some type of Davy backfight or clash between Gear 5 Luffy and Shanks. Hopefully, maybe we could even get a clash between Luffy and his father. That would be cool to see Dragon actually do something. Well, fifth, I'm looking forward to seeing Usopp reunite with his dad. Now, as far as the sixth thing that I'm looking forward to that I hope happens in Elbalf is that Blackbeard steals Pluton from Wano. I feel like Yamato is not enough to stop him, and if he really wants that, he's gonna get it. And it makes sense because during his fight with Law, his actual boat did get destroyed, so he does need a ship. And what would be more scarier than Blackbeard having Pluton, a ship that allegedly can destroy a whole island? And that would kind of, balance the scales too. Then, as far as the rest of the crew is concerned, I'm hoping that Big Mom comes back in some way, shape, or form, because Elbalf and the Giants, it's kind of an unresolved plot point with her and the Giants, and I just want to see her get out of her lava jacuzzi with Kaido and come back to Elbalf. Actually, I would like to see her stay on Elbalf as a prisoner. The other thing that I want to see, I'm thinking that when Law and Kid, if they both arrive on Elbalf, I'm hoping that they enter some type of alliance with Luffy, and not that they join his crew, but that they kind of join a grand fleet. I mean, I would love it if they join the crew, but they're not going to join the crew. I think that the Giants are going to join forces and support Luffy so that they could fight in the final war. The eighth thing that I think will happen, that I predict will happen in Elbalf, is if Mad Monk Rouge can join the story with NL. I want him to come back from space, and I want the Straw Hats to go to space at some point, as either the ending of this arc or some point that he comes down from space to the Endless Berth, that they call it up there in Skypiea, because that would be really cool, and that would be a nice link between the two of them. I think Mad Monk Rouge and NL have some type of history. Also, when it comes to Egghead arc, I was very disappointed that Frankie did not get his time to shine. Frankie is basically a cyborg. He modified himself with plans from Vegapunk's research, and we got nothing off that, really. So I'm hoping that we get some meaningful interactions with Dr. Vegapunk and Frankie this arc. Also, I don't think that Lilith is going to join the crew. I think that Bonnie might join the crew, but then again, if the Revolutionary Army comes into play and Kuma actually survives and they're able to fix Kuma, then they might just both join the Revolutionary Army. But on the same time, it's a 50-50 chance because now they found Sun God Nika, so why wouldn't Kuma and why wouldn't his daughter that he's been preaching about the Sun God Nika his whole life, why would he not join his crew and help him in some way? So really, things could go either way with Bonnie and Kuma. They could not join any faction. He could actually fulfill his promise if he gets fixed and take her on a trip around the world and then come back and help during the final war. One pseudo Sun God Nika out there with her actual father, and they could have their own adventures. Following Bonnie and Kuma's adventures would make for some really great cover stories. But then the last thing that I think is going to happen is that Prince Loki is going to be a trickster character, and I'm actually want to see him versus Usopp. The last thing that I'm gonna say is that I'm expecting more than 100 chapters from this particular arc. I'm looking for at least 150 plus chapters from this arc. So those are several of my thoughts for the actual Egghead Island. Again, enjoyed it immensely, loved it. I feel everybody's gonna start intersecting and really trying to battle it out to get the One Piece once this arc is done. But those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section, what did you guys think of Egghead Island, and what do you think will happen when we get to Elbalf? As always, stick up on the page, check out some of my other videos that I'm sure that you guys are really gonna like. And as always, interact with those buttons on your screen, like, comment, subscribe, share, and follow. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.